My inspiration behind creating this journal is my love for writing. I often write when I feel alone or I'm going through a lot or I have a lot going on in my head that I just need to get out. And sometimes we don't always have someone to talk to. So I look to writing and journaling just to get some weight off my shoulders or things off my mind. I started writing in middle school. In middle school, I used to get bullied. And I didn't have the best relationships with my parents or close relationships with my sisters, brothers and sisters. So I started to write. And besides from writing, I used to write songs and not poetry, but along with the songs, try to rhyme, But really in middle school, when I got bullied, that's when I started writing.
You wasn't writing death notes, was you?
No death notes, just whatever came to mind, yeah. Oh, this happened in school today, I feel like crying, or I don't feel my best, or they was really mean to me or made fun of me because of, and then I talked about them in my journal. Like, how it was like a diary. Yeah, but that's when I started writing. The main reason for creating this journal was to inspire and motivate a lot of young women my age and younger, or older. I've been through a lot, and if you read my biography on the back of the book, you will also see that I have been through a lot, and just to see where I am at now, and I don't know, just to share what has helped me become the young woman I am today, which is writing. I could have went down a totally different path, but I didn't. So it's just to inspire and motivate young women to keep going, and that if they feel like they don't have anyone to talk to, just to know that they're not alone and that there's another way to express themselves or get things off their chest. If I had to describe myself in 3 words, it would be brave, for sure, ambitious, and strong. After everything I've been through, I'm very strong young woman. The book is available on my website in both ebook and hard copy versions. Whew. You getting deep.
Yeah.
As a child growing up, I was molested by 2 different men, grown-ass men. I don't want to say the names, but they were very close to the family. They were friends of my dad, who he brought around. It wasn't his intentions, or he didn't bring him around for that reason, but they were close with my dad, and they got pretty close with me. It was very detrimental to me, and it still is, but it's something that I'm still working through. It has affected me in a lot of ways. For one, for a very long time, I was really, really insecure with myself, my body image. I would look at myself and feel disgusted, only because I would think like how something like that could happen to me, or why would they want to do that with a kid? So I would just look at myself and feel disgusted for a really long time, feel real insecure, or say hurtful things. I don't know. It affected a lot of relationships I had too, especially with male figures in my life. And I'm still trying to figure out why. Because I know those men, like, they did it to me, but I don't know. I don't know. it's not bad mojo with these men, but it's sort of a barrier and a wall up with every male figure that comes into my life, whether it's a friend, pastor, brother, anybody. It's just this wall and my guard up, only because what happened to me when I was younger. But writing has helped me with not only being molested, but with other things that I have been through. Short-term foster care, absent father. Well, I really don't know who my dad is, but physical, emotional, whatever, every abuse you can think of, I have been through that. But writing has helped me with all of that. It has helped me to just be able to get out of my head and express those emotions and those feelings and everything that I'm feeling from that, the hurt that I'm feeling behind that. It has been an outlet for me to just be able to write and talk about it. And then I feel better, you know. Everything is not all good, but you know, I feel relieved. I feel like some weight has been lifted off my shoulders, for sure. An emotion that I felt when I was in foster care, I think my top one would be angry. And when I say foster care, I wasn't in foster care for years where they had to find me like another family. I was in short-term foster care where I went to school and not my advisor or counselor, I don't know what you want to call them, but the nosy people. Or I think it was my teacher. It was something. I forgot how the situation went down, but they seen my arm and I had like a whooping lash. And the whooping came from, I probably did something bad. I don't want y'all to think like when I got my whoopings that my parent was psycho or an alcoholic or on drugs and just beat me to death. I probably did something bad and she whooped me with a belt and I went to school and they seen the mark. And they reported it to like the social worker or something, and it was a whole little investigation. They came into my house. No, they sat me in a room and they showed me a belt. And they asked me if I was familiar with it, and I said no. Like, who's not familiar with a belt? So they probably already knew that I was lying, but I got home and next thing you know, CPS was at my mom's door and they removed me and my siblings from the house. And me and my siblings was split up. I think it was me and my sister, who is about to be 20. She's a year younger than me. And then I believe I was separated from my brothers. But my emotions would definitely be angry that I was separated and taken from my home. I was sad. The way that me and my sister was treated in that foster home was not acceptable. I remember my foster mom, her actual daughter, her favorite meal was macaroni and cheese, and they was upset that we didn't eat our bowl of mac and cheese. For one, who has an appetite after, you know, being removed and crying and feeling lonely and not being with our family? And for two, what we gonna do with just a bowl of mac and cheese? Like, it was no chicken, it was no vegetables. So, yeah, me and my sister, we shared a room at that place, 2 twin-size beds, and we cried and whatever. I forgot how long we stayed in that foster care home, but it was a little while. And then I just remember setting up visitations with my mom. Not until they felt like she was the right fit, but until they felt like it was safe, I would say. I don't know, but yeah, my emotions would definitely be angry and sad. No, I definitely did not feel guilty or feel like it was my fault that any of that had happened. No, did I? I would say yes and no. Yes, because I feel like I was old enough to really answer that question and try to be honest when they asked me about the belt. And I legit said no. Like, I didn't know what a belt was. Because that's exactly what that mark was on my arm. But I feel like if I would have been truthful to that question, it could have been a different outcome with my family and my siblings. But no, because I shouldn't have got a whooping. But yes and no. I don't remember the timeline because I know we got removed and me and my siblings was separated and my mom couldn't see us. So I'm not remembering the timeline from me getting removed from my house to the foster care home to when my grandma and my cousin actually took us in, because instead of them sending us to like a permanent home, a family member took us. And I don't remember that timeline, but I do remember being with my granny at her house and my uncle, and my mom would sneak and see us. And like, she took us for ice cream one day, and I don't know how the CPS people knew. I don't know if they was watching, but they did I think they called and was about to come over to like see us or check in how things were going. And I remember having to run, rush to my grandma's house with my mom. Me and my sister had to put on our uncle big ass white t-shirts and act like we was at the house all day, not knowing that we were just out with our mom, stuff like that. So it was crazy, but I definitely don't remember the timeline in which I got removed to when I ended up at my grandma's house, cousin's house, stuff like that. But it wasn't a long time, probably a couple weeks or so, but yeah. I wouldn't say being in the foster care system has affected the relationship with my mom. I feel like our relationship has been affected by other shit that has gone on with me growing up, but not necessarily with the foster care system. I think it actually made me appreciate living with my mom a little bit more, because the way that lady treated me and my sister was not okay. The way her daughter and her talked to us, like, that was not okay. I feel like that was supposed to be a safe place and a home where the government or the CPS felt like we was in danger to send them here. They'll receive all the love and the care that they want, but you got mad at me because we didn't eat our macaroni and cheese, so I don't understand. But it definitely didn't make or break my mom relationship, me and my mom relationship, but definitely other factors have. Yes, I'm a lesbian. I feel like at that time when I did come out, I felt like it was okay, because the way that I came out and the way that I said it, I felt like it was okay at that time. Definitely just being open with my thoughts and how I feel, I definitely cannot do that with my mom or like growing up, because it was always her way or no way, or y'all just know where adults always just make it seem like the kids is always wrong, or kids don't have an opinion or can't say what they want to say or express themselves the way that they want to express themselves. That's how I felt like it was. But at that time, I felt like it was okay the way that I came out, because my cousin actually got caught watching lesbian porn, and her mom called my mom and was like, guess who was so-and-so was watching, blah, blah, blah. And my mom came in the kitchen and she started talking to me about it. And I'm like, well, gay marriage was legalized in all 50 states. And she was like, okay. So what you trying to say, you gay or something? And I didn't say nothing. I was just like, and she was like, you gay? And so she just kept drilling me like, you gay? You like girls? Like, that's really how it came about. And then I don't know if I started crying or she started crying. And she just got to calling the whole family like, she cares, she da da da. And I was crying too. And then we got in the car, we went to her husband's shop. And then, you know how parents be when they find out something, or you at the family gathering and they just like, show the family your little dance move. Like, you just calling the whole family telling them business. But at that time, I felt like it was okay the way that I had came out or the way that I had expressed myself. But yeah. Oh, if y'all want to watch my coming out story, it's on my YouTube channel. So go subscribe. I do not feel like I am lesbian or gay or I like women because of what happened to me as a child, being molested by men. I definitely do not think that is true. Growing up, I did actually have boyfriends that did not work out. And I feel like I had boyfriends because I was scared to tell my mom that I actually like girls. And I knew I liked girls since 6th grade when I started playing basketball. At first I used to play around with it, but then I was serious the whole time though. Like I really thought she was cute. But I feel like I had boyfriends because I was scared to tell my mom. But I actually thought the guys I was talking to and I dated was cute. But I knew I couldn't do relationship with boys because it couldn't go no further. I didn't have any sexual drive or like it was no sexual tension between us. Like I kissed a guy before, but I never had sex with a boy. But I think what happened to me with being molested has caused conflict with men, but I don't think that's the reason why I'm gay. I think I'm gay because I'm attracted and I'm sexually attracted to women and not guys. Like them the homies, but I can't see myself going down with a guy. Yes, I was bullied as a kid. When I say a kid, not like kindergarten, probably. You know, kids are mean. I probably was mean back, but middle school, I was definitely bullied. I said bullied. I was definitely bullied for my shape. You know, in middle school, that's when a lot of girls hit puberty and they start to grow breasts or the curves or the butt, or you really just start to learn more about yourself and start to learn more about what you like and what you're attracted to, and that's when you start to really like get glammed up for school or look at yourself in the mirror and stuff your bra with tissue and you know stuff like that. So I actually got bullied because they used to call them knockers because my titties was like doorknobs, or like they was really little. They was little versus another girl who was already in double D, or I didn't start puberty yet, or I didn't have the latest Jordans, or my hair was done. Probably not in the wigs and stuff, you know, girls wear now, but my hair was done. But I used to get body shamed, that's what it's called. I used to get made fun of for, oh, I'm not wearing bras yet, I'm still wearing training bras. But the girls had the little padded bra, stuff like that. So that's when I used to get bullied a lot. And that's when I used to go home and like look in the mirror and look at myself like, I used to be in the mirror like this, like sizing myself up. But can't nobody bully me now. Can't nobody bully me now. How did I get over insecurities? I feel like we all insecure about something about ourselves, but how did I get over from feeling the way that I was feeling when I was younger, when I got bullied? I would definitely say as I got older, I got finer. So as I got older, I started to see my curves come in, everything. I don't know, everything just started to come in. I feel like I wouldn't say I always got finer because I feel like I was always beautiful, but I don't know, I think my confidence grew, of course. And of course, you is a little popped when you younger, but I definitely got finer as I got older. And that boosts my confidence a lot. Like I'm a bad motherfucker. And I think that's where I was just like, what they were saying is not true. I'm a good looking motherfucker. But it's crazy because the same people that had bullied me or made fun of me or was like, I got this and you don't, sending hard eyes on my story. Or you was just so beautiful, or you was just this. But yeah, and also having those people in your corner that's like, you beautiful, or don't listen to them. So definitely having the right people around me to ensure me or reassure me like what they saying is not true and like, you look good. Some things I'm still struggling with today, I would say everything, actually, everything. And I say that because I'm still learning how to deal and cope with all of that. Like, I got the right people around me, but I feel like I don't have a lot of people that understands me and what I'm going through. So it's kind of difficult for me to open up or really talk about what's going on in my head. Like, sometimes it can be toxic, but that's where writing and all of that comes in. Like, I just write about it. And you always get in those, well, I always get in those moods where I think about something that happened to me 10 years ago because I'm not over it or haven't forgiven that person. But I write about it and, you know, I get over it, but I still struggle with it. And some of those things are being molested, for one. Dealing with an absent father, I feel like that has conflicted me with like identity issues. Like, if I knew who my dad is, I got a whole nother family, grandma, brother, sister, maybe nieces, nephews. And I want that relationship with, you know, having another parent and not just my mom. And me and my mom relationship not that close. So, you know how you always close to one parent. If you can't go to that person, you go to the other one. So, I feel like I'm just struggling with a lot of relationships in my life and juggling between those emotions and not being toxic to the people around me that's just trying to help me. Right. So in 2015, so y'all know my name is Imecia McCurtis. My last name is McCurtis. So it's kind of hard for me to like break it down. Like, my dad that I'm insinuating is the guy who, you know, who last name I got. In 2015, he got a DNA test on me. All of my siblings, he had a DNA test on me. I was really depressed. I was sad. Didn't want to go to school. And it was crazy, and it was a huge turning point in my life because I used to be a daddy's girl. On my birthdays, we used to go to the movies or go get ice cream, and it's like, when that happened, it was a slap in the face because it was like, out of all your kids, you got a DNA test on me. But then I just started putting two and two together because it was like, that's why you say you act like your mom, or you sit ditty, or you high maintenance, or you don't act like your other siblings and stuff like that. It started like, have you always had doubts about me? And from that point on, we have not had a relationship. And then my senior year of high school in 2018, so 3 years after that, a guy had messaged me on Facebook, and he was like, hey, are you Tish, daughter, which is my mom? And I'm like, yes, what you want with her? Because my mom is married, so I'm like, is this a good dude my mom talking to? And, you know, because my mom don't have social media. So for one, I'm trying to see how he find us, what he want with my mom, and how he know my mom, because I don't post my mom. But I did post my mom on Mother's Day, and he saw the picture through a mutual friend of mine. I used to work with him, and that was his nephew or something. But he messaged me and was asking about my mom, and I'm just like, what you want with her? Because again, like, you know, I'm saying, like, she married. And he was like, nothing with her, it's with you. I'm thinking I'm your dad. And that was on Mother's Day. And when I seen those messages, I showed my older brother. And I showed him because, for one, you know, he has his own dad. And I showed him, I'm like, dude, like, look what this guy just messaged me. Because, you know, since the DNA test, I'm looking like, is dude really my dad? Like, who my dad? You know, I got questions. So I'm like, oh, shit. So he messaged me, and then I showed my mom. And then when I showed my mom, guess the first thing she did? Yell, scream, got mad at me. And the first thing I'm thinking, I'm like, why you mad at me? Like, he hit me up. And I'm like, are you getting mad at me because it's like guilt, or like you really know what's going on? And then so after all the screaming, the yelling, the crying, the cursing, she came to me and was like, yeah, it is a possibility that he could be your dad. And he called me, he spoke to my mom, and he gave us the whole rundown. I guess he was in jail. They met at a barbershop. He'd been looking for me, but he spelled my name wrong. He spelled my name with 2 M's, but it's 1 M. It was crazy. So what I mean by my dad, but I don't really know who my dad is. My dad, I'm insinuating the last name that I have, but it's still a question out there as to, you know, who my dad is. So I don't have any type of father figure, because I don't. Absolutely. I actually want to know who my dad is. I want a relationship with my father, or, you know, and I feel like I pursued that because he pursued me, and he was very sure of me. And he has a daughter and sons, and he has grandkids, meaning I got other brothers and sisters, nieces and nephews, other grandparents, and that's something that I want. It's like another piece of me is missing. And I feel like I want that the most because me and my mom, we don't have a close relationship. So I feel like I need the other parent. Well, I don't need, but I want the other parent because I've been doing okay. But I definitely feel like I missed out on a lot, or whoever my dad is missed out on a lot. Because when that guy came into my life saying that he was my dad, he lives in North Carolina or North Dakota. I always get them mixed up. But like when I graduated high school, he FaceTimed me at my graduation. And I'm just thinking like, you missed a lot of my honor rolls, you missed a lot of my basketball games, you missed a lot of this. So, and you know, with fathers, they always into like the sports and stuff. And my mom really didn't come to those games. So when you see a lot of those families and stuff come to the games to support their kid, you know, I just relied on my friends, you know, support system. We're always, you know, friends from school, but I definitely feel like they missed out on a lot. But I also missed out on like creating those memories that a lot of people have with their fathers, of course. Writing has made me a better person. I wouldn't say it has made me a better person, but it has allowed me to not act on the rage and the sadness that I have been thinking, if that makes sense. A lot of the emotions that I feel, like for example, if I'm angry, you know, when you're angry, you tend to throw stuff or punch the wall or do whatever, and that's the way of you letting it out. And I feel like writing has given me the opportunity to just reflect on all of those emotions and, you know, put it on paper and not act on it in a physical, violent matter. So I wouldn't say it has made me a better person, but it has given me a chance to like sit back and like reflect on the shit that I'm going through, and then just, you know, lifting some weight off my shoulders, if that makes sense. Going through what I went through has definitely made me a stronger person, because I could have went down a totally different path. I could have been on drugs, I could have been in jail, I could have been dead. I could have just had nothing going for myself, literally. I could have used all of that to bring me down, and I chose to use all of that to put me in a better situation, because I look at it as, I might not have a strong relationship with my mom, but that motivates me to be a better mom to my future kids and ensure that they have another father figure or, you know, another parent that they could talk to if they don't want to talk to me. I don't know, I just reflect on those and I look at it as a learning situation, and I try to move past that. Of course I struggle with my emotions, and because I'm human, but it definitely has made me strong. Yeah, because I'm definitely doing something with myself. I'm actually doing a lot, and I feel like a lot of people look at me and they probably just see a pretty girl and, oh, she's in the army, she's in school, she has a cute smile, you know, surface level stuff or what they see, but nobody knows the internal damage that has been done and how I'm working on that, or a lot of stuff that I have been through. So I just say to know me is to really know me, and those who know me know, like, I'm really doing this shit for real. I am just someone who is trying to find a way for herself. I've been through a lot, but I'm trying not to let that define who I am and my character and who I am as a person, because I'm much more than that. I'm a college student. I am an Army gal. I am now an author. I'm funny, I'm courageous, I'm ambitious, I'm intelligent, I'm everything. But I got a bad attitude, but I'm working on that. But I'm definitely finding my way. But I'm all of that and more. But to know me is to know me. Right now, I am in nursing school. My long-term goal with that is to be a traveling nurse. I really want to be a NICU nurse. I love babies. I'm a makeup artist. I've been a makeup artist for over a year now. I'm in the Army. I've been in the Army for almost 4 years now, which is crazy. I'm an author now, and this is definitely not my first book that I'll be writing. This is just the beginning, but I have a lot in store. For someone who is just starting out writing, I would definitely say to just write. And if you're struggling with putting the pen to the paper, that's why I have this writing prompt journal to guide you in your thoughts. It's not really structured, but to give you a sense or an idea as to what you want to write about, whether it's your past, something funny, something loving, something you relate to, something you've been dying to talk about. It's just 100 writing prompts about everything, and it just allows you to put the pen to the paper and really just express yourself and your thoughts. In this book, it's about 103 pages. You know, you have the cover, the back cover, and then about 102 pages. So you have 100 writing prompts and, of course, the front and back cover. I named it Write Your Truth because I feel like it's self-explanatory. It's a writing prompt journal book. You're writing your truth. It's your truth. It's your story. It's your thoughts. It's your feelings. When I write, I'm definitely writing my truth. I'm writing my feelings. I'm writing what I've been through. I'm writing how I'm feeling at the moment. I'm writing about me and, you know, my truth. So it's write your truth. What has happened to you? How are you feeling today? What or who has made you who you are today? It's your truth. Like, if I was to read a book about you, you are basically just talking about yourself. It's write your truth.
Do you feel like
I wouldn't say that people aren't able to be themselves when they aren't writing, but I feel like it's definitely more judgment because of society or people and opinions. But when you're writing, it's just you and a paper and your thoughts. You don't have anyone judging you, anyone, you know, over your shoulder saying you should say this. It's your feelings. It's how you're feeling, and you're writing about it. But absolutely. Anything in particular, or should I just? I don't think I have a favorite one. Okay, I have one. The question is, who do you confide in the most? Is it healthy? You want me to answer it? Who I confide in the most? I confide in my partner the most, my girlfriend, Akayla. I confide in her the most because that's the closest person to me. Not because we live together, but she tells me what I need to hear and not what I want to hear. And if it's healthy or not, it's sometimes healthy. We struggle with communication a little bit. But when it comes to me confiding in her, I feel like when I express myself to her, I take her response as her attacking me or being against me, and those are just my negative thoughts. So that's unhealthy, but for the most part, she's really the number one person who's there for me. In everything, and all my shit. Like, she knows a lot, she knows everything. So I appreciate that. I hope that another young girl just like me, or who I once were, or who is, dealing with what I'm dealing with, or dealt with what I dealt with, is able to look at this journal as an outlet. Not everyone has someone to talk to, or is able to express themselves in the most healthiest ways that, most people can. So I truly hope that this journal is able to just be a source and be an outlet for them to just express themselves. I know it works for me. It might not work for a lot of people, but I'm hoping that it really do help a lot of people who is just like me, who find it very difficult to express themselves or don't have much people to talk to about what they're dealing with. And I hope this is just an outlet for them, or is motivating for them to just keep going, because if I can do it, they definitely can do it. And it's not the end, it's just the beginning. Everybody can find me on all my social platforms. That's what you're talking about, right? Everybody can find me on my social platforms. My Instagram and Twitter is at TheRealMVP, TheRealMVP_. And my Facebook is my first and last name, Imecia McCurtis. IMECIA MCCURTIS. Imecia. A lot of y'all know my name but can't pronounce it. But it's Imecia McCurtis. Oh, my YouTube is also my first and last name, Imecia McCurtis. We're gonna roll to 600 subscribers, so get me there. We're gonna roll to 1K subscribers. What I would say to my younger self is, girl, keep going. I know it's difficult to see the future and see everything that you have been through and how you're gonna get to a much better place, but keep going, because better times are coming. The people that you need in your life is coming. Don't give up. This is only the beginning, and definitely don't let everything that you have gone through and been through define who you are, because you are much more than that. And I'm speaking to every young girl who is watching this that has been through what I've been through, or much worse, because somebody out here has it or had it much worse than me. This is only the beginning. Use this as a stepping stone, as a lesson, and keep going. And you have someone like me who has your back. You are not alone, and we got this. We gonna get through it together. And I'm always a friend or a source or one text or call or DM away if you want to talk to me and my experience. So we got this. I am working with nonprofit organizations to help with young girls who have gone through molestation, any type of abuse, whether it's verbal, physical, emotional abuse, girls who only have one parent, whether it's the mom or dad, foster care, any of that. Any young girl out there who is struggling and who needs help and who needs a support system. Our goal is to provide resources. Thank you guys for tuning into this exclusive interview with me. Hopefully you guys learn more about me and my book, Write Your Truth. I am looking forward to connecting with you all. And just remember, this is not the end. This is only the beginning. And it's time to write your truth.